You have entered the Chronic's rabbit hole. An army Chronicans, welcome to or welcome back to the channel. My name is Kyle, aka Chronic.
And I'm Alana, aka Thumbnail Lady.
And we are so excited, Army. One of the other poll winners was Baepsae. And you guys let us know that we should check out the live version for this on top of actually an explanation video from DKDK who is a real Korean that can give us context on the song meaning, which we love because we usually miss it. We're Canadians, but we're trying and we love you all.
Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I can't wait to get into this one.
I'm really excited for this reaction because I believe this is our first full live performance that we hope makes it onto the channel. The only other live BTS performance we did was at the Grammys, and that one, as you saw, got really chopped up to make it onto YouTube. So we're hoping this one, we sure it will because you guys suggested it, will make it onto the channel so we can experience together them live because we know that's really captivating.
Yes.
And we do love the song meanings, like we say, so we thank you for guiding us into that way because the explanation video for this is a socio-contextual song about generations and such. That's what they'll be talking about with this song.
Very cool.
So that's why the real Korean's going to be telling us about the Korean references to be explained here.
Yeah, that's really interesting because we don't have a lot of those references for us to really go to. So we're just going to be able to relate it to our own lives and what we've experienced. So I'm really excited to have someone who is from South Korea who can really tell us what this means to your nation and to BTS.
So we picked this one because there was actually a few selections for Baepsae, and there was like a lyric video, there was the dance choreography, and then there was the live one. We went with this live one because when you guys told us to do the explanation video, we noticed the explanation video was on the dance choreography already.
Okay.
So then that way we kind of get the dance choreography with the explanation video. The lyric video itself is just a picture of them, so we like to see movement and all that too.
Yeah,
so that's why we picked the live one, and it says to use headphones, and we have headphones, so I thought I had to. So let's go.
Let's go. We're doing what we're told.
Nice beat already. Oh! Boston.
It's okay. 학교가면 sensei. 상사들은 bang bang.
Oh, it's Sensei.
Shake shake. Pass it to the water boy. Maintain. 그렇게는 아니지. Bang bang. 이거 정상이야. 이거 정상이야. 숫자 노는 거로 다른 조금만도. 아무리가 들어가도 손발도. 노노려. 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 싹수가. 조금더 작은 거 그만둬. 아무리가 들어가도 손발도. 노노려. 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 싹수가. 실망을 시켜. 시황세야. 이를 깜빡해. 시황세야. 날 먹어봐. 시황세야. 황세야. Baepsae. 그 빠질. Day. 빨리. Chasing. 너게 내가 나기 taking. Baepsae. 그 빠질. Day. 빨리. Chasing. 감수적으로 생겨나는 sunshine. 난 대체 다른 너 박태야.
I love this one, and I totally remember this one in like remembrance from when we watched that long guide.
Oh, yes.
And then they were talking about like the social expectations that these people feel in Korea and in the kind of K-pop industry itself, and like how this was like not a rebellious song, but something that's pushing their own mold, and that's really
Yeah.
what the spirit
There
of their
was
music always
I
is about.
I remember this one because there was a lot of like media coverage of it as well around like, is this really what we want our generation, our new generation to like idolize in a way? I
Right.
believe that was this song because they were talking about like, again, the generational, whatever the explanation was that we gave in the beginning of the video.
Like the social expectations,
That's it.
right?
Generational social expectations.
Yeah.
And I love this. It's very old school rap, old school R&B, very much like the stuff I grew up
Fits
on.
RM and Suga's style, but then
Very
also the
much does.
vocalists with Young Cook, V, and Jimin are really standing out for me in this too.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely Suga and RM style is what I'm getting. That's what I'm really relating to. I love both of them when they're rapping, and like
Definitely.
this is like they're two that I would that with their rap styles that really draw me in a nostalgic way, even as well as like creating those new like fun music vibes.
Absolutely. And the difference between this song and I Need You, which we just reacted to, it just shows the range of BTS and why they're loved by so many different types of
Exactly.
musical genre lovers.
Exactly.
That part's so fun. Oh my god, he's so good.
Wow.
God. J-Hope's really growing and growing and growing on me, and I really think his dancing is such a high level. We were isolating Jimin a bit there with his dancing with some of these videos, and now J-Hope's really starting to pour through the middle, and this song really was usually my hips and my arms start moving easily, but my legs don't want to kick and move as much. But this one like brought my whole body out. You probably could see my shaky legs going, and that's the coolest thing about BTS themselves is you want to imitate them.
You really
That's
do.
the best form of flattery, as you know, right?
It is the best form of flattery is to imitate your idol. And the thing that's really cool about this one is I love how you say that J-Hope is really starting to stand out for you, especially in this one.
Yeah.
But V is really growing on me.
And him too,
And
yeah.
like with this one,
Well
even
said.
every time, so even in the last choreography that we watched when he was in the jean jacket there and
Yeah.
like his dancing,
Yeah.
he's
White
really
shoes.
and the white shoes. And now in this one, it's his facial expressions that he makes. He has this way to do like a side smile grin type thing that he does when he's singing.
Yeah.
That is it's so unique.
agree.
It's very attractive and cute, but it's also like almost like mysterious in a way. And that's kind of
Yeah.
what V brings out to me, is like that attractive, cute, mysterious. You kind of want to get to know him because he might be a little bit nerdy, because he might have like his like hyper focus that he has that you want to find out about, but you also just want to know who he is because of his quirks. Like in the
He
Rise
looks
to
very
Bangtan, and
dominant.
he was, yeah, he's very dominant in
Yeah,
that
not
way.
submissive.
No, exactly. Exactly. That's the thing that's mysterious. There's no submissive ability in there.
He's
He's very
controlling.
dominant and controlled.
Yeah.
And like even in that Rise to Bangtan that we were watching, he was doing his praying mantis dance all the time, right? So like he's really growing on me,
His
and
personality's coming through a lot now.
yeah, exactly. His personality is coming through a lot in his dance, in his movements, and how he sings, and how he's interacting on the camera behind the scenes. And so, like, this one particularly, the camera really zoomed in and showed him a lot as well,
I
which
agree.
really adds to
His
what
moment was really cool when
his
he was front
moment.
and center.
Exactly. His moment was
Yeah.
really cool when he was front and center, but it was actually when he was in the back that I saw him the
Cool.
most.
Wow. Okay. Right on.
So there was a moment when he was front and center, and then there was a moment in the back where he had the mic and he went to say something. That's when that little side smile came out. That's when I like
His smirk.
instantly, his smirk instantly drew me to him, and that energy that he's putting out in his performances. So that was something really cool for me, was seeing V in this live performance in his many different outfits, and as
Yeah,
they would
and
brought
speaking of
on.
the many different outfits, that's what I was about to bring up. It was really cool to have this live video kind of bring in a bunch of their main
Yeah.
performances of Baepsae. And again, this might be one of my favorite dancing ones too, just
Yeah.
even from watching from the video before the isolation on the dance choreography, which we're gonna kind of get with the explanation
And
too.
it's something we could dance to, because it's very much, we're just moving our hips at least to a part.
I
I
don't
can
know if I
dance
can
to
do the
that.
split that J-Hope did at the end.
I can do the splits. I can do
You'll
that
do
one.
that part. We're now going to find out about the explanation, because what was kind of nice about this part on the reaction was we didn't have to dissect any lyrics. We just got to experience the music and have a fun time with that.
Yeah,
And
we
that,
did.
so now we get to do the nitty and gritty and get right deep into it from a Korean man himself.
Oh, I'm really excited because I really want to know what this is about, and I want to know what Baepsae is. Baepsae?
Baepsae. Let's get some daily dose of Korean cultural context.
In light of BTS's new comeback, we are taking a look at their fiercest and most political song, Baepsae.
They call it Baepsae. You watch it. It's that day. Molly. Chasing. Want the dog and make it down. You can't.
First of all, you need to know this Korean idiom. 뱁새가 황새를 따라가면 다리가 찢어진다. It means when you try to do something that's out of your reach, out of your capabilities, then you will likely fail. Crow Tits.
Wow.
I need to know what that saying was again. It went too fast for me.
No problem.
First of all, you need to know this Korean idiom. 뱁새가 황새를 따라가면 다리가 찢어진다.
So a crow tit following a stork will tear its legs.
Interesting. A
Doing
crow
something
tit
out of your
following a
reach.
stork will tear its legs.
And
I
he'll
love
explain
those
that.
idioms.
Yep.
It means when you try to do something that's out of your reach, out of your capabilities, then you will likely fail. Crow tits or 뱁새 have short legs, but storks have very long legs. So obviously a crow tit trying to catch up to a stork will likely fail. Here the storks are referring to people in power, the big companies,
Like it.
conglomerates, and older generations. And in this video, I will focus on the last meaning of older generations because the previous two meanings have been covered a lot by other explanations. Here, BTS is using crow tits as a metaphor for the younger generation or the millennials of South Korea. They are trying very, very hard to catch up with their parents' generation, the baby boomers or the storks. They also use another metaphor of teacher to refer to the older generation who are born.
First of all, beautiful. Maybe I'll let him finish this thought.
The
I
golden
I just
spoon.
didn't want to lose this.
Born with a golden spoon. They say
Yeah, being born with the golden spoon. I think what was interesting, we've been talking with our parents a lot recently
Yes.
about how there's like a statistic out there where back when they were growing up, you could have a single parent household and only working 40 hours a week. And now to get that same income lifestyle, both members have to be working 50 hours a week. So that's kind of referring to like the stork having just so much more wings to fly, trying to raise that family and all that type of stuff. And
Absolutely.
so I'm just correlating to that experience, because even in Canada, you can still feel that difference too.
You really can, and it's we even over here in Canada, are the millennial generation and the baby boomer, our parents' generation, are definitely very much at odds with each other as well. So it's really like I knew that was kind of a global standpoint, but it's really cool to see that like no solidified it is on a global standpoint that this
Baby boomers to our
baby
generation.
like that structure of power of older to younger, the different generational differences, like even when it's like, well, when I was your age I bought this place and blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, for $5,000 on your 20-hour-a-week job you were able to buy that. I can't. It's like 100 times more expensive now.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see how this is everywhere.
Hard to fly at the same speed as them.
Yeah.
To refer to the older generation who are born with a golden spoon. They say this because during the ages of the baby boomers in South Korea, they were experiencing huge economic growth, and it was extremely easy to get jobs, get housing, and stuff like that. But the economy in South Korea is now at its maturing stages, and the side effects of ultra-fast economic growth have boomeranged to haunt the current generation. Currently, the millennials are facing extremely high pricing of houses, as well as high disparity between the rich and the poor, and also extreme all-time high youth unemployment.
wow.
In this verse, BTS addresses the social injustices that millennials commonly face in Korean society. For example, passion pay. This is a very common practice in Korean society where companies basically pay young workers below minimum wage or nothing at all in return for experience. The company's logic is because they are offering a job and an experience that many young people have passion for, they are the ones that are actually doing the service for the young people. Enposede is another newly made word.
We have that technically over here in North America, only we call them internships.
Right.
Instead of passion pay. But an internship is an unpaid job or position that you usually take with a corporation. Like you can be an intern at a law firm or
just
an
for
intern
the experience.
just for the experience. And often internships are actually mandatory as for placement when you're in college getting degrees for a lot of these places.
Yeah.
That is used to describe the millennials of this decade. They are a generation that have basically given up what many consider to be basic human rights and wants because of extremely high youth unemployment rates and also very low wages compared to living costs. We have many different variations of Enposede to describe the millennials of South Korea. It originally started from Samposede, which is used to describe the millennials that have given up dating, marrying, and giving birth due to economic instability. Then it evolved to Oposede, which added giving up employment and buying your own house. And then it evolved into Chilposede, which added human relationships and hope. Now the word Enposede is most commonly used because they have basically given up all their dreams and hope.
Wow. That's happening around the world.
It is happening around the world, and that would also make it an even bigger dream for a lot of these millennials to then become idols when the idol route of a job or a career is one of the only things that they could really fall back on. If you can't get a job as a lawyer or a doctor, or even at McDonald's, it's impossible to get a job, because out here it's even impossible to get a job at McDonald's now.
Absolutely.
So then becoming an idol or a YouTuber or a lot of these other
becomes very attractive.
Age, it becomes very attractive to go to the new age variation of having a job, because even out here in the West, it's like we're experiencing a lot of these same challenges, not to the extent, but very similar.
You can't pick all three, having your own life of going out and doing your parties, having a family, having friends and the house with how it is right now.
Yeah.
You sometimes have to pick it if you don't become super ultra successful.
We fortunately were able to own a house at one time because I had my own place before Kyle and I met.
Yeah.
And with having the children and now expanding our family, we then had to sell our house and go back to renting, because honestly it was about the same amount of money, but then we were able to have a better lifestyle for our children. So it was like,
Absolutely.
do we want to have a better lifestyle for our children, or do we want to have the pride
Security.
and security of being homeowners?
Yeah.
So we gave up the pride and security of homeownership to then be able to give our children a better life.
And it's just crazy to hear because what they're saying too in the golden generation or the golden spoon time with these baby boomers is what they mentioned is the richest and the poorest gap was at its closest. And that's what we're noticing around the world is now the gap's really, really wide. And I think that's what's creating so much of this division as
It
well
really
right now
is.
too.
You can see it everywhere, like even on Facebook. I was at Walmart and I was listening to people while I was at Walmart yesterday cursing America and American products.
There you
And
go,
like,
right?
so it's crazy.
Yeah, so we love this type of a video, so we really thank you all for sending us to this channel. DK TV probably is another channel we're going to use a lot more, getting Korean context too, right? It's
Exactly.
beautiful.
Is because they have basically given up all their dreams and hope. In these lines, BTS talks about their want to change the system.
Awesome.
The word 정상 in the last lines has a double meaning. First, it means normal, and second, it means top.
Do we need the...
No, I don't think we need the subtitles because it's in English and it has subtitles.
We do apologize, and you know me with my subtitle game. I always do something wrong.
I can't hear unless I can read it too.
Yeah, so hopefully that didn't make it too confusing for all y'all.
Talks about their want to change the system. The word 정상 in the last lines has a double meaning. First, it means normal, and second, it means top. So basically, not only is BTS talking about how this is not a normal situation, society is sick, but also they are saying we are not at the top yet and we have to push further. Here, BTS addresses how
Oh my
the
God.
older generation blames
me again.
millennials for their struggles, saying that it is due to a lack of effort. The word 노력 is pronounced 노력 by BTS, and this is a very commonly used internet slang among millennials to sarcastically describe how the older generation blames them for the lack of effort. Baby boomers often neglect the fact how society is completely different now compared to when they were growing up. And also the economic situation is completely different.
Yep.
They also neglect the fact that a lot of the economic problems that these millennials face today were in fact caused by baby boomers. For example, housing prices that are extremely high so that millennials have basically given up buying their houses.
Yeah.
These were driven up by baby boomers buying multiple houses in speculation and for investment purposes. Yet many baby boomers simply neglect the fact and tell the millennials that they should try harder, work harder, so that you can perhaps buy a house 20 years later.
I've heard the amount of times I have heard that said to me as well, and it's like, okay, we work hard, we slave away all the time, and then it's still not good enough. It's
And then-
never good enough.
And then what's really interesting is we're being blamed for not working harder, where in my experience, the baby boomers are then not doing their role for what we need for them to
It's
do.
like, okay, if you want us to work hard and do all these things where you had to work harder, well, when you were in our position and our age, you had your parents around to help you with your children, to be the grandparents, to do different things like that. Whereas now in our generation as the millennials, I'm sure a lot of you are experiencing this where now your parents are where? They're on vacation.
Yeah.
They're doing their own thing.
They're having fun after
having
having
fun.
a bunch of houses and selling
They're
one.
having, it's their time now.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, so now on top of having to work harder to get more money to be able to buy the things that we need, like a home or a house, or, have an education fund for your children, or all
Yeah.
those different things.
Yeah.
But now we also have to pay for childcare because we don't have the children's grandparents around to then offer that position, which should be generationally to have your grandparents around. So it's a very crazy thing because our children, their grandma and grandpa are actually my grandma and grandpa. So
I think just this
yeah,
analogy of the stork
it's
and the
such a good
Baepsae is such a
analogy.
good analogy.
It's a good analogy, but also what BTS is saying is stop telling us that analogy because maybe I can take you out. Just because my legs are short, maybe my wings are longer, so stop putting me in a box.
You can perhaps buy a house 20 years later.
실망하시고 우린 뱁새야 이름 갚아내 우린 뱁새야 같이 살자고 우린 뱁새야 뱁새야.
On the surface level, these lines just simply seem like a cry for help, a call for a helping hand. However, the word Baepsae in the very last line is a very clever play on words. Basically, this word would sound like a curse word to the Korean ear. It sounds very, very similar to shipseya or keseya, which
Nice.
are both
Nice.
very serious curse words in South Korea. So not only are they crying for help, and not only
My first Korean that I really learned is going to be curse words. Like every language I've ever learned, that for whatever reason, those are the ones that stick in my head.
are they asking the Crow Tits to unite, but they are also calling the older generations.
Love it.
Oh, that hits
Oh,
home.
amazing.
Gosh.
Baepsae, yeah.
Wow, that one might be my favorite stance that they have.
Absolutely.
And like I love all their stances, and it's easy to say it's your favorite once you hear it and then you're experiencing it through it. But I really think a lot of the younger generation, because BTS is multi-generational loving, so it's not
is.
like there's like 60, 70-year-olds too that are loving this, and even part of the baby boomers. But I think a lot of the reason why the millennials are really loving BTS is it's that war cry for what we're experiencing with this
Absolutely.
injustice that you can kind of blame a generation for, but it's also just the way economics
Yeah.
work, because that's really what they were saying here is we can't have our family and our houses because of economics. It's not necessarily
Absolutely.
because of you guys not wanting us to have it. And I think that's just the way the world's just worked, and we're at this position. That's why they're saying this is not normal, this is not how it should be. The society is sick.
The gap is larger. So there's always been a generational gap. So every single generation, regardless if you're from the millennials, Gen X, Gen Z, or the baby boomers, regardless of your generation, you are always going to feel that the previous generation has done a disservice to you. That's a regular feeling amongst every generation. But the gap that we are experiencing, the economic gap that we're experiencing today, and then the lack of support that we're experiencing, at least in the West, the lack of support that we're experiencing from our own internal families, and how broken up, even if your family's not like a divorced, broken type idea, but how broken up families can be on that generational stance of now it's my time, let's go on vacation, that it's become, is even causing a bit greater, in my mind, a greater economic divide, because now you have to pay for childcare because you don't have the grandparents.
Yep.
Right. So it's crazy where
Snowball effect.
there's a big snowball effect that I think a lot of things are being missed in that snowball effect, because it's affecting so much that is picking up as the snowball gets bigger and bigger.
And that's why when you have great parents like BTS,
Yes.
you can become very successful. But
Absolutely.
then they also work very hard. Also,
Very
I love
hard.
that line where it's like,
Don't tell me to keep working hard and that it's about effort, because look how hard I'm working. I'm putting in more effort than you've ever put in, and yet you're still telling me that it's about effort. It's an economic crisis.
and it just can't make anyone happy, y'all. Like we're
No.
even going through this BTS journey with y'all. We are gonna do almost every video. We already have been. We're going far and beyond
All in.
we think with this experience, and somehow there's still some people saying that we're not doing it correctly up to their standards. So there's
'Cause
always
everyone has assholes and opinions are just buttholes.
and exactly, but like, and that's all their songs and are opinion pieces in the end.
Absolutely.
But does it become propaganda or is it art? They always put out art because it makes you talk. What propaganda does is it stops you
It
talking,
stops the
and it's just the way
conversation.
it is. This is always an open conversation that comes from it. I think it was really cool that V still, even in this explanation video, stood
Yeah.
out for you because he really is starting to, his personality, like we said, is just shining through now.
It's shining through so beautifully.
And we just like that we're able to incorporate them all as individuals and band members now, because it's making this experience a lot more enjoyable, being able to put the name to the face is so easily now. So we thank you
Absolutely.
all for helping us get through this journey, for picking this on the poll. If y'all want to make sure you don't miss the next poll to put in your own 2 cents for what BTS song we do next, please join the Patreon. We have a free trial there where you can do the polls. You get early releases a day early, and you also get any content that doesn't make it onto YouTube there as well. And you get to support the lovely family while doing it. We want to thank all the YouTube people, though, for viewing us as well, because this is where it all started. And without all of you, we really would not be on this journey. So thank you so much. I hope you're all looking forward to the next BTS content coming down the rabbit hole, because we are now exiting the rabbit hole, folks.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Army, for supporting us as we go through this amazing journey, getting to learn about all the different members of BTS and getting to even see some of the South Korean context and culture in through our journey through BTS. So thank you so much for guiding us along the way. Peace and love, everyone.
God bless y'all.
Take care and bye for now.
And since you made it this far, kitty's outside.
Have to let him in.
Let's go let him in.
Oh, he's not turning off the camera. You get to see the Pebbies. Hi, Pebby. Hi, my boy. Hi. And it's the Pebby. Say hi, Pebby. Say bye, Army.
Hey, Army. Hey. Good boy.